Hi, Assalamualaikum. Good day, everyone. Miss Salina here. This is the fourth video. Okay, so in this video again, I would like to highlight that when you prepare the answer for this question, this is a long question. You have to be smart. Don't waste your time. I would like to advise you that when you, as I mentioned in the first video, um, um, the best way for me that I would like to advise you is to just the first step is always look at the requirement one. Okay, so read the requirement one statement, prepare the statement of profit or loss for the year ended 31st March 2022 and prepare statement of financial position. Always look at this note. This is very important. Use vertical format and calculate to the nearest ringgit Malaysia. You don't have to waste your time to prepare your answer in cents. Okay, just calculate to the nearest ringgit. And I mentioned it as well, again, I would like to repeat here, when you prepare your answer, you can just straight away take a piece of paper, let's say this is page 1, you can straight away write in the first page of your answer the title of the statement. Okay, just copy from the question here, statement or profit or loss for the end, write this one straight away. Okay, write in the first page of your answer, statement of profit or loss for the year ended 31st March 2022. Then you flip your paper in the to the next page. Okay, to the next page, which is statement of profit or loss. Sorry, statement of financial position. Asset. Statement of financial position as at 31st March 2022. So you show that in your second page. Okay, just show in the second page. You don't have to waste your time. Then straight away, you refer to this trial balance. Okay, you just take all the items that we have here, like sales. Okay, straight away you write sales. You know that sales will be in the statement of profit or loss. The first item in the statement of profit or loss. So you write sales. Then straight away you write purchases. Okay, just skip few lines, and you remember that the format, the formula is sales minus cost of sales. Okay, you have to memorize this formula. Okay, sales minus cost of sales equal to gross profit. Okay, this is gross profit. This is basically the formula. Sales minus cost of sales equal to gross profit. Then you add up this gross profit, you add with revenue, add revenue less expenses, then you will get what we call as net profit. This is the main basic formula that you must always remember. Okay, please memorize this. Okay, so you take sales from as the first item. So I believe that you have no choice. You really have to memorize the format. Okay, sales, and then how to calculate net sales, and then how to calculate net purchases. Okay, so you just straight away then remember I advise you to tick. Let's say you already take sales and then you already transfer the figure of sales in your answer. So you tick sales in the question. Then you take purchases. You write purchases in your answer here. This is purchases. This is purchases. You skip few lines and write purchases. Then you tick purchases in the question. Then you take return outwards. Okay, you take return outwards is deducted from purchases. So you write return outwards in your answer. So you tick this return outward from the list. This is for what? This is for you to double check that all the items you have ticked here is the item that you already write in your answer here. You already write in your answer. So you tick whatever the item that you have ticked, you just tick in the question, in the hard copy of the question. Okay, let us continue with the last adjustment here. I haven't touched this part, which is bad debts. Okay, bad debts and allowance for doubtful debts. Okay, so you can see here remember I prepared a video explaining about this topic. So bad debt is the one which is actual amount that cannot be collected from the customer. We know specifically, let's say Ali. was declared bankrupt and we cannot collect from Ali. So let's say that is the example. So this 500 ringgit, how do you record? 500 ringgit is considered as bad debts. Bad debt is an expenses. So you can see here, this is bad debts. So this is bad debts expenses. Okay, bad debts. Okay, now let's proceed with allowance for doubtful debts is to be adjusted to. So the question used the word to 750. So you need to refer to the list. So allowance for doubtful debts at the beginning here given as 600. So you compare 600 and amount given here 750. So there is an increase from 600 to 750. How much is the amount of increase? 150. So the amount of 150 is an expenses because it is an increase. So can you see here that we add up 500 bad debts plus 150. So you will get expenses of 650. This is allowance for doubtful debts. So allowance for doubtful debts is actually an estimate. Okay, how do I differentiate between bad debts? Bad debts is an actual amount. We know specifically which debtor, which trade receivable were not able to pay, and this allowance is an estimate. Okay, let us continue with allowance. For this allowance for doubtful debts, the amount of allowance for doubtful debts will appear in this statement of financial position. Okay, under current asset, we have here accounts receivable and allowance for doubtful debts. So, in this statement of financial position, allowance for doubtful debts will be deducted. Okay, deducted. So, trade receivable minus allowance for doubtful debts. And this allowance for doubtful debts must be at the end, which is 31st April. So at the end, allowance for doubtful debts is 750. Okay, 750, which is 600 plus an increase of 150. That is allowance. Okay, then let's take a look at trade receivable. So trade receivable shown in the list. As you can see here in the list, here we have trade receivable or account receivable in the list. In the debit side, remember this is asset, trade receivable 12,500. So in this statement of financial position 12,500, but you will have to deduct with bad debts as appear in the additional information that we discussed just now. So trade receivable is 12,000, which is 12,500 from the list, from the trial balance, minus with bad debts shown in the additional information, which is 500. So how do you show net trade receivable here under current asset? 12,000 minus 750. So net amount is 11,250. Okay, please watch the next video. Thank you.